My side of the story. My side of the story.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my side of the story, and of course today I'm with Jefro.
Jefro Katai, microphone suit in a tie.
Wewe rap nini hapo. Yes, and if you're new on this channel, by the way, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment, because yeah, this is that platform that gives you one of the best stories, human interest stories, feature stories, and even the best updates. Okay, so if you're new here, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. And yes, I am with somebody who is passionate about the creative arts. I don't know, is this something you've been doing like since you were born?
The creative, yeah. Like, okay, me, I'm an 80s baby. So, like, right now, in fact, it was interesting this week because there's a new movie about Michael Jackson that came out.
Yes.
And it takes me back to my childhood. Because, like, I grew up with the Michael Jackson, trying to learn the different dance styles, etc. Later on, evolved. I leaned more on the side of hip hop. So, like MC Hammer. I don't know. Have you heard of people like those?
No, I've not
No
heard
idea.
of MC Hammer.
MC Hammer used to have baggy jeans.
Yes.
Used to dance, and also
Yeah.
he was a really solid rapper. Many hip hop cats used to make fun of him and saying like he's too commercial. But in his life, he was a gangster. Like he was commercial, singing all these pleasing pop kind of like sounds. But he was like, you could not mess with him or try to clown him.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I grew up with the Tupacs, the MC Hammers. When I was young, eventually kukakuwa na phase kiasi in my R&B. So I remember when the Boys to Men were coming out that time, Casey and Jojo, etc. And then so like music has always been a big part of my life, you know.
Nice. Maybe have you watched the Michael Jackson movie?
I wanted to go with my wife actually.
Please do. It's very interesting.
It's her birthday this week, so actually we might be able to go watch that. Yeah, I wanted that. I know I can watch it at home later on, but just that vibe of being in the theater and also seeing other guys who are enjoying the music, dressed as MJ, dancing. I think that whole vibe might actually make me go to the theater to watch this particular movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it. I've already watched it.
Oh, you did?
It's very interesting.
Okay, that's the point.
But I feel like they should cover even more of his career.
After.
Yeah, after.
Okay, like that's debatable because I think like okay, because you know like we're living in the era of cancel culture, and I think sometimes like we live in a generation when people are so quick to cancel without even like knowing the facts behind the thing. So like I can just come and accuse like a cocky looked at me badly, and other people are so. It's like rage bait, you know. They're quick to judge without even kind of like knowing, okay, why did she look? Maybe there was something in my eye, that's why. So like we don't really kind of like go and research, and so like I'm not really. I do understand there were some cases like which Michael Jackson was involved in afterwards. He wasn't found guilty.
Of course. And actually, when you watch the movie, you will realize people lied a lot on his name.
Yeah.
He was a very gentle soul.
I believe
Very
that.
gentle
I mean, only God can judge, so I might not know what really happened behind the scenes. And God forbid, I hope like nothing happened to the kids because I'm really also like passionate about the kids and protecting them.
Yeah.
But I really feel with Michael Jackson, it was more like a business that went wrong, like whereby like people didn't like the fact that he bought some publishing, etc. And they wanted just to show him like you're staying in your place, because you can see it's kind of like the same thing with Kanye West, kind of like the same thing with other musicians when they reach to a certain level of fame and impact and influence. Guys, the power that will be like, yo, you're a black man. Know your place, you know. So like, so for Michael Jackson, you can speak for a long time, but I really believe. But as an artist, just besides that, like when it comes, like normally, in this generation, guys sometimes want to compare Michael Jackson like Taylor Swift.
No,
you cannot compare Michael Jackson in another frequency hemisphere.
Exactly,
completely.
he will always be the king of pop.
Yeah.
And nobody will ever reach those numbers
or
even the hype he had.
It's true.
It's really, really different. And I really advise, go and watch it.
You'll
love it. You'll even understand why he was the way he was, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so you have grown up listening to all these artists.
Yeah.
So what shifted? Because I know you're a minister, you're a gospel minister.
I believe so.
What shifted along the way, or what changed?
So, okay, like let me go back to music again, because I think like that's a big part of also like my growing up. I remember, so like it was pop music, some rap over here, some dancing, etc. But hip hop had a really big impact in my life also, like in the 90s. I grew up in the golden era of hip hop. So they got to experience like Akina Tupac when they were still alive, Akina Biggie Smalls,
Puff.
Puff Daddy, Diddy when he was Puff. But actually Diddy, people might speak ill of Puff, but he's an amazing producer.
He is.
He is like, even if it's not necessarily the one making the beats, he could he's got an ear of a producer, so he could pick up a team, sample of course soul music from the 60s, from the 70s, etc., and make classics. You know, I grew either in like in Nini, all those bad boy records before Kina Mess, during Kina Mess, Paka Kina Shen, etc. Those were the soundtrack of my youth years, etc. And I love them, you know. But unapata like also music comes with, some people normally say it has got there's a spirit behind music.
Yes, true.
So music also comes with, yes, there are good times, you know, when you're partying, etc. Unapata, for example, if you're dating a lady, or if someone is dating a gent, right? And like you go through a heartbreak.
Yeah.
Utapata sometimes you'll want to listen to music, the heartbreak, like kadhalika. It just puts you in a certain mood.
Yeah.
Same thing with rap music. Utapata like with rap music, the more you listen to it, the worldview, the mentality, the philosophy, the ideology of whoever is the artist, and even to a degree the spirit behind, kind of like get transferred to you.
Yes.
So that part, like in my teenage years, so like with my parents, like my mom was like a believer from as far back as I can remember. I remember like when we were young, we used to have prayer meetings at our place. You know, like either the Esto community group kind of like wasana come wanna pray, nini my worship. So I always knew there is a God. And of course, like I don't know if they still teach in school nowadays, but during our era there was CRE, if you're a Christian, or if you're Muslim, IRE, etc. So if you're a Hindu, kuna
Hiyo sasa HRE.
Hiyo Maramayan, etc. So like I always knew like there was a spiritual realm from when I was young. When they used to be big also like evangelistic crusades back in the days, like in Arena Bonke, those big evangelists. You are a Gen Z, yeah?
Yeah, my Gen
Oh,
Z.
so like,
I'm like,
you're in history. You can Google them, like ChatGPT kiasi. So like, so in Kenya, as much as niwasa napenda sherehe, kulikuwa na that fear of God kutoka kitambo yani. But now like my dad was not a believer. I mean, he's a good dad. I mean, I respect him. RIP, he rested just like a couple of years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But my dad was a day scholar. Sometimes
Ako.
So my mom was a board ile mnaomuona hata jioni, asubuhi kiamka kama jioni. But my dad, and then like my mom was a really hard working, so atamka asubuhi atenda works nini atachapa. But Buddha sometimes unapata usiku maybe ameenda TE, so like atakam late nini like drunk, and then akiingia kwa keja manze like just it becomes toxic a little bit. So I remember when I was young I used to get beaten like literally every day. Ile wiki kipita kama sijatandikwa unashindwa wiki imekuwa poa. Kumeenda aje?
You even feel like something is wrong.
Unanipata so like ile tu, and I think sometimes like influence things like alcohol, etc. So my dad will come sometimes like you guys hamjafika shag for a long time. Ebu like tell me what's the name of your auntie. Nini. If you don't know the name, you go cut like look for a cane. Manze like get, you know. So like ikafika afu kwa chuo was not any better because also I grew up in the area of secondary kwa chuo.
Hata si tulikuwa hiyo era.
Manze ulikuwa tunachapwa daily. Noisemaker sikosi kwa list ya noisemaker. So inafika point fulani manze cookie unaboeka na you start becoming rebellious to authority.
Yes.
Because ile design umezoea kuchapa poko like unajua ni aje. Me already like even when I'm even in my good days they still think I'm mischievous and I'm naughty. So kaende to I'll embrace this identity.
Yes.
So unapata hip hop, why I was saying that story, hip hop kind of like played a role. Because kumbuka like couple like Michael Jackson, they were kind of like Michael Jackson like had black fans, white fans, Indian fans, etc. His music was more popish because it's popular, it's appealing to everyone, right? But hip hop was more rebellious, kind of like
it has that gangster feel,
rebellious to authority. So you know, like NWA with their catchphrases, mad with the cops, mad with anyone trying to take away your liberty or your expression. And I was like looking at these cats and like, okay, they can express themselves, they can be themselves, and they are able to make money and live a life whereby they define their reality.
Yes.
And you know, like school tries to confine you. Like, we're like you have to be good in mathematics, in English, in sciences for you to be a success in life. So ile design kama like you are not someone sitting in front of the class. When you backbencher, mwalimu tu anapay attention wala amekaa mbele peke yake, ushasauliwa pale, umeneglectiwa. But you know, every human being, you know, like there's some greatness in you.
There is. I mean, I usually say like, I feel like, okay, the school system is not bad.
Yeah.
But I feel like we go to school, especially with the system that has been created to manufacture people to work for the corporate world. You
become sheep.
Yes.
You are programmed to be. And you know, God created all of us with different personalities, different, everything is beautiful, like we complement each other. So unaweza kapata like if you're confined, if you are meant to be a fish, and then unaambiwa tu fly. Unaweza kajiforce kiasi una fly, lakini hauta fly as high as ule msetu ni eagle.
Yes.
Na kama ni eagle unaambiwa swim. Okay, unaweza kajaribu lakini hautakuwa like a dolphin. So like I really believe like my mom actually like was really in the education system. I remember like my mom told us kids, so I've got a brother, an elder brother 3 years, and a younger sister like 5 years. And my mom, one thing she used to tell us growing up was, the thing I can give you, my children, is Jesus. Just get to know God, like get to know Jesus, like really like the reality of that realm, and education. Because like with those two, like you can go anywhere in this world, you know, and you can hold your own. You can have confidence. You can have faith. You can, you know, you can just make it in this world. So wealth, maybe we might have, maybe we might not have, but those are solid pillars rather.
Of course, yeah.
So Nankona later on, I could grow, like she became like one of the top education people in Nairobi, in course outside the country. So I've always valued education. Like in law, the system I grew up in, year 844, ilikuwa ile inasisitiza in such a way that kuna ni poa, but pia kuna limitation fulani. So like if you're a creative, utakuwa hakuna so much emphasis hapo. You know, because you're not, so like unapata sometimes like say nikienda say high school, sasa ilikuwa primary school, nikienda high school sometimes like unapata like mode yako tu hapa pay attention na sako mbele peke yake,
ni hao tu wanafunza.
So mimi niko pale nyuma sasa ni mamistari sasa. So unajua muziki zimeanza kuingia nini and then like so ni kuandika mamistari lakini pia kusikia mamistari, so that becomes your worldview. So like ile design na mkati nilikuwa Dagoretti High School. And during my time, actually like lakini nikisema hiyo sasa jua mazee mini OG like that. But one of my classmates was Waire, the love child.
Oh, nice.
So we used to write music with him. You know, like unapoka sale mmoja ametoka class ama nini, wasa ndaka kusikia mamistari. So like tumeandika mistari hapo, msana chapa desk, naanza kurap etc. There's also another gentleman called Alvo. Yeye alienda kwa Wanono crew. If you've heard of that particular group.
I have, yeah.
So also like Alvo, yeah, that you ilikuwa jeshi yetu say around that season yani. So tukaanza kuandika mamistari. I remember like the high school was really big also, like drama festival, music festival, mafunky. So in like ilikuwa either like you are a really good person CU, ama ile design like it's survival for the illest. So ile design unapata like I remember your friends ya dogo ilikuwa inakatwa like almost on a daily basis. Sasa kuepa chuo. Poleni kama nasikia hii from, I hope things have changed.
I'm pretty sure they have.
Lakini najua it was similar story in most schools. My brother was in Nairobi school, so najua pia huko akiniambia stories zake zilikuwa pia na some drama na kadhalika. But nakumbuka so unajua ile design it was at school in Nairobi, but in Kiambu, I think iko hapo kwa border. Iko in between. So kuna vibes za ushags kiasi, lakini pia bado mko na hii. So ile mkiepa chuo either mnapitia side ya Waidhaka ama mnatembea. I remember there was a walk like an hour maybe for 5 minutes mnafika Uthiru, and then say Manganya ndonganya culture ilikuwa inatokeleza hizo ends. Manzo hizo yani like you are like yo, this is the life. Lakini sasa unapata like cause of kwanza kuzoea hiyo design kulikuwa pia na F2. There was a club called F2.
F2 sana. F2 nimesikia sana.
F2 ilikuwa inatesa sasa. So you see like in the US there are places like Apollo. Apollo guys could go over there and really represent on the microphone. It nurtured your skill as a creative, as an artist, right?
Yeah.
So F2 hapa Kenya, as much as ilikuwa na mavituko zake during the night. Because a lot what happens in Vegas remains in Vegas, right?
Yes.
But F2 also ili nurture so many creative voices that time. Kulikuwa na rap battles, kulikuwa na singing battles, akina Isa wote walipitia F2 na kadhalika. So nakumbuka like sometimes tulikuwa tunaepa chuo kwenda F2 for those competitions rather in high school. And then unapata pia ile design like sometimes you just join these clubs just because of that thing of going away from school at least in the weekend, because during the week there was so much bullying, fighting, beat, yani like ilikuwa ile design and kuibiwa. I remember like when we were in class ati manze like kumbuka umepandishwa kasi siku yote umebweka afu after prep tunataka kwenda at least you lale kiasi at least to relieve some of the stress. You go to the bed, unapata bed mattress imeibiwa. So me I remember like kwa form 1 mattress ikiibwa mara ya kwanza ile design liko like so I remember mattress ikiibwa like no, the beds were not like with spring, ilikuwa ni zile beds like is it mesh like ile
mesh imewekwa
unaweza kacheza draft.
Exactly.
Unaweza kacheza draft kwa mgongo yako bila hapo. So ilikuwa ukibwa mara first of course like maybe you contact your parents, I think box ilipigwa vitu zikachukuliwa etc. I need new ABCD. But mara ya pili start feeling like you're a punk kama you're soft, because mzazi anakuambia wewe jipange you're na sasa wewe, so unapata ile design. Kwa mimi nakumbuka form 1 nilikuwa CU, na nilikuwa
manze hapo hivyo you are
niko
very
poa because nilikuwa na encounter na God which nakwambia saa hizi. So nini but unaweza kapata like ukikuwa CU first hiyo chuo wacha wasala kwa na copy sana pia during exams. So ile design ati mode nini mnapatwa cards na regular. Ati mode ameenda nje kiasi. Wasema ze like someone could copy like yani there were so many how can I put it, people use their talents to create means of passing the exams without going through the system. So unaweza kapata like nini, unapata like the first week mkifungwa chuo nilikuwa nikatuma mwa Kenya kujua syllabus nini, and then after that the rest of the term hata wewe pay attention watu uko nini kwa machuo ama kwenda ma clubs etc. So like that was kind of like the mindset and the mentality around that time.
Yeah.
But nini nakumbuka during form 1 nakumbuka like one time also, so I used to go to CU, but unapata like nini when I was in CU unapata sometimes some of the prefects in CU etc. they were also like monolization, right? And I was finding it's a contradiction because I'm like, okay, them said on Saturday we are worshiping praise. I've napata like during like on Tuesday and then punish for something I did not really do. So like your rebellion yangu ikaanza pop up tena again. But I do remember there was one particular time, it was on a Saturday night. So either you're going for CU or you're going for entertainment. It was you choose one of the two, right? So when you're going for this CU meeting, it used to end around maybe midnight or so. So nakumbuka hiyo time like the person who was leading kwa nini show, I say, guys pray, I really feel like the spirit of God will move in a mighty way tonight etc. So tuna pray manzi, lakini venye nafika 12 nakumbuka unajua msi like nini atafanya tukikawia sana asubuhi itakuwa ngori kwa sababu kuamka unaweza kukosa kuamka. For like we used to have an egg once a week. So unajua hiyo break kila siku ni mkate slices tu na chai. At least you start kuna treat kiasi. Hasa unajua kwa hiyo treat like afu una since it's a boys school, in the morning guys will not wake you up if you oversleep.
Yes. So
guys, even like the person sleeping next to you will just creep out of the bed, go to your table, say nataka slices za cookie na mayai yake ndo azikule. So overdose sasa. So ilikuwa like lazima nijue. So like I was getting frustrated a little bit during this CU meeting because I'm like, I'm say ajui manze kesho form ni VP. But this person was like, yo guys pray. So so we prayed. Some of the people your meeting in Kaisha, but now there was a CU room which was like a small room yani. So akashow come in, let's just pray, let's just dig deeper. I remember like when we prayed, like ikafika a point in time like after 30 minutes, the spirit of God came so much in the room and we were like maybe 8 people or so. Tukajipata kwa flow. And like the presence of God was so tangible you could actually touch. I remember like I was on the floor and I was crying profusely, right?
What?
And that's the day like when the knowledge of God moved from head knowledge to heart, like wow. And then God see stories of the Bible, actually God is there,
Real, yeah.
And is real, yeah. So like kuna fear of God which ikaiko kwa hati yangu. So lakini nakumbuka ile kwa form 1, nakumbuka ilikuwa form 2 because of the situation ya go like ile bado mabullying, nakumbuka visiting day, wazazi wamekaa mama ile mzazi akikosa kukam visiting day una catch, so lakini wasana kuokolea maybe like wanakuvisit unapatia kitu, but now like the prefects some of the form 4s will come and still take whatever was brought. So like nakumbuka like niko na each show survive, God I love you, lakini hapa itakuwa tu like an eye for an eye. Msaki bakti yangu pia mnaiba yake. If survive tukitoka pale nje tutakuwa nzuri. So ikakuwa like at least form 2, form 3, form 4 ilikuwa hivyo. But now kumbuka like the music I'm listening to and just like the worldview. So like eventually I think like by the time I was form 2 they used to call me Mojivelli because around that time is when Machiavelli to pack that Elias. So because I used to rap. So ikakuwa kind of like my mindset for at least for the 3 years or so when I was in school. I remember keep up from 4. Now mtani pia situation ilikuwa ngori sana, just violence. So remember like I mentioned about my dad.
Yes, I remember.
And unapata alikuwa violence not only to us kids sometimes but also to my mom.
What?
So ilikuwa ile December yani like ile you're not looking for it. Sometimes unapata usiku amekaa makotei mnafuza kutoka keja, although as much my mom was contributing so mnaenda kulala kwa jirani ama like another. So ilikuwa sometimes some of those embarrassments pia iko naleta shangwe like in the neighborhood like we're living. Mimi so LA Langata representing,
Nice.
But nakumbuka sasa like during form 3 or so I remember my mom made this prayer akashow God, unajua ni aje enye nikiendelea hapa ni ngori, give me a job outside the country, at least I just need a break here and at least for my kids, like like those prayers like really out of coming from the heart yani. and God alifungulia my mom njia. You know, like nini, she was in education and she was working like in the Ministry of Education, etc. position. There was one diplomatic job which she can open up out to the country.
And she
And she
managed,
akaenda kuhold it down over there like in education forte.
That's
But so mimi
amazing.
nilikuwa form 4 saizo naenda kuingia, nilikuwa form 3 mwisho. So you see like now it was either I transfer ama nini ama tu niende kufanya form 4 nimalize alafu I'll join the rest. So sisi tukaenda kufanya form 4. So nakumbuka tukifanya form 4 saizo tulikuwa warui saizo yenyewe kusema ukweli. Ilikuwa ile like manze like look, we had believed in all that hype, you know. So nakumbuka form 4 like during the first term, right? During the first term, kuna time the principal that time akaongea kitu mbaya. Principal, I think deputy principal. Ile design, I think they wanted to increase some fee whereby the people pay just some extra fee which really wasn't really necessary. So nakumbuka during that Saturday tukikuwa chuo, wasa wakachuchana sana wako, hata huyu deaf manzi hata analemea wazazi wetu sana. Like nini, but remember the mock nini, hiyo pre-mock inaanza on Monday. So wase wanajichocha hivi, wengine wanasifanye pre-mock. Sasa tunajua ni aje on Monday when you go to the parade. If this guy brings up that issue again, we are marching out. Wangapa kwa roju. Unajua maboys kuchochana. So Monday kafika, si ndio? Mimi nilikuwa okay. Kaenda school nimesoma hiyo exam sana. So lakini mama Kenya ziko nini. Okay, nimesomea pia lakini najua ni ile design. Ni better not to do it rather. So Monday like during the parade it happens, right? Umsaka depi akakama hapa kuingia matope la. So after that, by the actually like nini, the pre-mock is started, the LP guys are prepared. Actually like we are heading to the science lab. I think science was the first one. Ilikuwa biology. Hizo makem unanipata. So like nini, after parade, so like it's like one okay. Wase if guys will just talk, ama talk is cheap, who will actually atakuwa roho juu. So like nini, ile wase wako wanaangaliana tu. So tunaanza kumatch nikaka tunaangalia ile lab ya chem ile pale. So sasa kwa sana angalia ndio atakuwa roho juu because it was like we were marching outside the gate. Na watch akileta nini tunavuka naye. Tukaanza tu kuangalia na kiasi. So ile taking those steps of faith. Mdogo crowd ikaanza kunini, so form 4 ilikuwa tu form 4 ali involve the cops, the prefects, right? So tukaanza kutembea. Kufika tu hivi kwa gate, hata huyo watch akaona nini, akaona tu crowd na kama tu akajipatia shughuli. Tukatoka hivi there was no conflict or anything along those lines. So tumejichota tukaenda Waithaka. Now it was either you remember Otiru tukihepa chua ama like Waithaka. So tukifika Waithaka, so unajua ni aje, let's be organized guys. Atuchape mtu ama nini, us we just wanna air our grievance. So let's go to Tao, let's go to Nation Center, ama let's go to Standard. I think Standard was in Tao that time. And let's just tell these people like okay, like huyu prince wetu wenyewe wanakula doki, ni corruption yani, unajua. So tukaingia, we were so orderly by the way. We went to Tao. I think we went to the Standard place first.
Yeah.
When we went over there, even we sent a representative where the uonge like easy man. Akaenda huko nini battlefield kama tumelengwa. We didn't have really, it wasn't news.
Heavy, yeah.
So amazingly the same day the Nairobi University guys were also striking. So kutoka hapo tulifeel, unajua ile unafeel kwa shock change venye tumetoka hapo. Sasa tunafikiria okay, what next? Tukirudi chuo already shot tumejichomea. So huko like nini, maybe like it's kind of like we are just giving up to the system, maviboko na nini. So nini, while tuna figure out what to do, kuna watu wa nini Nairobi, wako Tao manzo wameenda roju wakaenda hapo Nation Center. And they didn't even have to call the journalists. Journalists just went to them. What's your nini? Moise ilikuwa nini. Waka nini ikanini tukajo even though kuna endanga. Pia tushaanza like say nini calling the name of our principal and he must go. Must go hizo zote. News ikakam, I don't know like ilikuwa I think ilikuwa hiyo nini Nation ya. Wakakam na makamera kwa wakatu capture nini. So tukajua tumefika hapo tumeaccomplish the task. So tukasema tunaenda chuo kushow the rest of the school wasa ishe mtaani sasa. And in fact like saizi like we are really grieved this story inafaa ku address to in a bigger scale. So kwenda chuo kumbe GSU wametungoja. Unajua ni form 4 wote. Tuliomba tu wote manze chukweni ile kama chuo tu bagi zenyu mwenye shule mtaani. Mtarudi na maparo next week tujue ya nini venye hiyo story yenyewe itaendeleanga. So that time remember my mom my siblings are wako, so I was staying with my aunt and my uncle, and my aunt and my uncle, they were big. Kuna organization fulani, a Christian organization, inaitwa BTL, Bible Translation and in it. So my uncle alikuwa CEO hapo also ya. So unajua ni ile design mtu yani like society respect etc. So mimi nakumbuka nikienda mtaani ile nini akamshow unajua ni aje like this form 4 like actually was early strike leo nini me hata like I just got caught up in the mix. So ile wali by my story wako sasa wacha tajua next week ni aje. My dad was still in the country, so like maybe we'll contact your dad baby afu ajue mwenye atakam if the parents are needed. Kume news say 9 o'clock say niko hapo say ni poa nimeenda nimeoga chakula sijui baby kakuku kametengenezwa nimefurahia. Wacha news I think nini was the headline, either the headline or the second news. Alafu niko hapo among the guys hapo mbele tumefunga tai kwa kichwa. My uncle was like, Jeff, that's you. So tuko hapo tu nikajua hata nikashindwa nitasema aje. So anyway, eventually the next tukarudi chuo whatsoever. I think we digress a little bit.
It's okay.
But that's kind of like the school thing, yeah. I remember that year also the Lost Boys came. There was a big hip hop group called the Lost Boys that time. Nakumbuka pia like nikienda hiyo show ya Lost Boys nikihepa and then like I had to tell. So show ya Lost Boys ilisha around 11. Ilisha mapema sana. So I was like either niende F2 ama niende mtani. No, my auntie I think kulikuwa hiyo curfew hawezi kaenda kwake. Na chuo siwezi kaenda saizi. Lakini nilienda kwa my auntie too like wakamenya nifungulia. I don't know which lie I had to make. God forgive me. But
that's so interesting. Hey, your life sounds very interesting back in the day.
Na sija kuambianga hiyo. Acha hii sijui kama nishike kusema in any pod conversation. But that was the year bomb blast ilifanyika. So venye bomb blast ilikuwa 98. So kumbuka to history nimepatia. So bomb blast ilifanyika August. So I remember during August, so hiyo April imefanyika hiyo whatever. August like 3 months later. And then August ilikuwa tukasikia just kabla tufunge chuo, tukasikia ati like kuna msako na leakage ya exam. So sisi tunajua unajua ni aje nipo kwa na backup plan just in case. Kwenda afu kumbuka tuko tumemaster the art ya kucopy just so like a teacher could be there lakini wasabu bado mngejua tu how to, it was a skill. Let me just say that. So nakumbuka like tukasikia kuna msano za exams etc. So tumefunga chuo on a Thursday. Tukasema tukagree like a few people to meet tao on a Friday. Ndio tunakuwa nayo mseto tujue kama ni legit at least kuwe after remember that time like since my mom my family is outside the country nilikuwa natumia pocket money at least substantial kiasi. So I had extra change. So mimi nikajua sasa na buy pia mimi siwachi nyuma. So sitao tumeamua kupata na asubuhi around 9:30 ama 10 or so. So ndio mimi niko tao kumbuka hiyo si ile siku ya mobile phone zilikuwa zimetokelezea sana. So ni ile mkipata ni call box. Ile mkipata inafaa kwa precise. Napata hapo ingia Wimpy 10 o'clock or so. So I remember hiyo time American Embassy ilikuwa hapo just opposite the railway station.
Yes.
Sana so, nikipita tu hapo ilikuwa around 10 or 2 or so. And nikaona like mabesti yangu bado hajafika. Nikaenda kwa call box. I think nika make a call or so. And then like nikaanza kutembea even towards the embassy. So like I think like we were supposed to meet Wimpy. Wimpy was the other side of the street. There used to be like this restaurant called Wimpy. Yeah? So kwanza kupita hapo just nimepita embassy kiasi nimevuka barabara nikasikia like a really loud voice. Like like ile stuff unasikia kwa movie. So niko like so the first thing which came to my mind ni volcano. I think so najiuliza ground hata mimi ndio oh god hama. So nikafikiria ni ground itafunguka. So in all that confusion guys are running this direction. Now to run because no one knows what's happening rather. So unakimbia out of adrenaline lakini hujui unakimbia nini because you are killing to figure out what's happening.
Yeah, it's just panic.
Ni panic. Afu magari like actually you see magari zinagonga watu because everyone is confused. But because of adrenaline can come to discover even my rails. The way we were jumping like Kipchoge, ungejua manze Olympic actually you can run. Like truthfully cookie I'm not even lying.
Yeah.
So like and then like around 2 minutes or so there was a second blast. It was louder. Oh manze my glasses nilikatoa kiasi na my glasses hata I can't remember.
Yeah.
But unajua because of the effect rather. So ile mnaanza kukimbia hapo nilikuwa najua leo na die after say na show god manze nikideni say the hell because I was up to some mischief when I could be exam. So god are you your sins god inside.
It's not a sign.
So niko god manze nisikadai kuna famua iko mtaani. So ile kukimbia confusion blah 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 thank god I survived like truthfully. I remember like in one of our classmates the mother was I think we were even sharing the same dorm. The mother so like during that when August 19 ilifanyika kuna watu walisurvive maybe siku ya when they were checking the wreckage etc. there were people even who survived like 5 days in the wreckage, yeah. And there was one particular lady who was called Ross. So Ross alikuwa mother ya my classmate Gobado. And I remember like nini, because like the previous year it was Princess Diana had passed, and like Elton John had sung another song. Unaona life yangu kuna mamuziki tu kila.
Ndo naona very eventful.
Elton John alikuwa amesing ngoma fulani Candle in the Wind, which was dedicated to Princess Diana. But now like when this survivor, the mother of my friend, was there, it was something Ross. There was some people equated kiasi hiyo ngoma na nini. And I remember tukiprayer nini, lakini unfortunately passed after like a week or so. Yeah, but I remember that day like nini my farm unajua sio CNN yani unaweza kufikiria Kenya kumekwisha, which ilikuwa ngori bado marino wamekuja ama nini ilikuwa kama movie. So anyway like nini, grateful to God like I survived that blah blah. Tukamaliza chuo. I remember like when tulimaliza tu chuo immediately my mom came for me, was like yo, you know. So like nini kaishia, so nini alikuwa country nyingine before, after hiyo time akaenda India, New Delhi. So like nikaenda India like nini just immediately when nilimaliza form 4, yeah. So India was another culture shock for me.
Yes, how was that by the way?
It was really interesting kwa sababu unapata in India kuna, but India is the best of both worlds, let me just say that. India is one of the places, you travel a few countries after that, but India is a place you'll always want to go back. So I don't know if it's in the spiritual realm, ama ni kuna vibe tu fulani, and unaweza kapata utapata like ni modern world, but pia ni ancient world, all mixed in one. So utapata ng'ombe zikipita kwa barabara, na pia like the latest Mercedes. And after
German machine.
After your ng'ombe there you uigonge. Watu wataka kuchoma because unajua it's like a deity over there. So in India there are over 1 million plus gods, 3 million or so. So everything each nini water bottle by the like nafikiria plug in ndio kwa water bottle hopefully later on.
Of course, yeah.
Inataka kwa Mungu. Nini in Mungu, because everyone is nini wanatafuta like nini there's a higher being, but maybe unapata watu wengi wajakam, okay mimi I'm a Christian, watu wengi wajakam to the encounter like of the true and living God. So like utapata like they will look into all these different things like to satisfy ama to please that craving in the soul. So India ilikuwa hivyo. I was staying in Delhi, there was a place called Vasanviar. Huko ni ubabini ya Delhi sasa. So like nini nakumbuka the first year sasa, kumbuka nimetoka hiyo influence ya copy etc.
Umauru.
Umauru ni? Umauru ni nini?
Like umekuwa Rui.
Oh yeah. So afu nikajiambia unajua ni aje God, I think uko kwa nakosa 50 kwa 100 kwa sababu ya influence around. So nikakumbuka the first year ya uni sasa
in New Delhi.
Delhi nikaingia Delhi University, yeah. So nikashogo the first year manenda kwa good boy. Ile tu like ni wacha kwanza niende chuo kwa mimi najua I know I'm a bright person. Wacha niende chuo nione how I can really test my mind, yeah. So I remember like when one of the subjects I was doing was economics, and I remember like being in class and seeing some of these Indian ladies, the way they were good at maybe presenting. Okay, not being a male chauvinist or anything, but kwa nini msiradi hiyo subject hivyo. So nikataka ku apply myself into it. But then nikakuwa book kiasi, nakumbuka like the first year I was actually among the top students. Nakumbuka niko na hiyo picha mimi nikipata naweza kutumia nikipata prize etc, yeah.
Please share it with us. We'll actually display it on the podcast.
Yeah, actually if I find it I'll share with you most definitely. So like so that was my first year like I was just like hata nikarudi back to the faith etc. So by yangu like whenever I have a challenge and I put my mind towards overcoming it, once I overcome kwa naboeka. So I think after your first year nikajitana okay kumbe I can hack it if I want to, just because I don't want to. So like after nakumbuka huko like once ukikuwa na red passport. So my mom being a diplomat also asked as a kid we could get like the red passport manzo that you can get away with crime.
Oh,
yes.
For real?
Like okay to a degree. Yani ile design makarau asumbwani na nyinyi. So ile kama ni tei, if it's drugs, if all that like you can really how you can really immerse yourself in it and get away with petty stuff rather. Now, speaking of which, nakumbuka kuna best yangu fulani around that season from Senegal. Ile design like alikuwa na skirmish fulani with the driver. So he was from this embassy, maybe it's fake sema. Akakuwa na skirmish na huyo driver, not alikuwa tei. Huyo driver akasukuma kiasi akaanguka. Akapass.
What?
So like huyo msika kwa it became a big case, it became national news over there because now they wanted to arrest this guy. After gavana ilikuwa imemshikilia bado. So eventually akasema ati akwe tried in his country. I don't know if he stayed long ama akarudi France, blah blah. Anyway, so around that time yani nikikuwa form 2 nikaanza kunini my passion for rap ikarudi tena.
Yes.
So like unajua pia hapo like
ukiwa year 2 ama form 2?
Year 2. Thanks, yeah. And now the friends also nikaanza ku just like ku get into a crew with ni other people from other embassies yani watu wao. So unapata like some of my best friends are from Brazil, ama like unapata like Stato, Canada, so these are guys who used to our love for music is to bring us together. So tukaanza kufanya house party, and we did so many house parties yani in Delhi. So unapata like we were kind of like the cool kids, and unapata like now also the Indians wala kuna do sasa they wanted to associate with us. So unapata like I remember like I used to nikaanza ku promote clubs. I promoted like nakumbuka like we used to club I think from Tuesday ilikuwa club moja. Some unajua mkienda hapo ni kama influencers siku hizi penye wanafanya. So Tuesday unapata, Wednesday another place, on Thursday there's another place called Pluto's. Una promote lakini bado I used to DJ a little bit. So promoting and DJing. On Friday there was a place called My Kind of Place. So like promoting but also rapping. So like so unapata like every evening rather every day kuna some disposable income unapata. Constant supply of alcohol. Nikikuwa double unachoma weed kiasi mara moja lakini sasa hapo over in India man like there's drugs. So kuna hash, kuna weed, kuna zingine pia pills in case, but those were ones really kind of like my things sana. But naweza kusema pia ni like kulikuwa na income, drugs, indulgence.
You're living a fast life.
Fast life. Na pia kuna super, like from the so sika kwa life yangu for a while. And nakumbuka like so uni I used to just make technical appearances like truthfully, but I never used to attend class. I used to just like okay me register etc. My mom is thinking like niko huko nimeenda classes, but rarely. I remember even one time like I was like I told my mom I want to do by the side some computers. So nakumbuka nikipata do nikaenda nikaregister, and I really wish, because most of the people actually even walikuwa wanafanya computers around that time, because India like unapata place like Silicon Valley ilikuwa inachukua so many guys from India.
Wow.
Who are really in the tech world over there. So if me sometimes I regret, because like if I'd really put my mind into it na nikue focus venye ilikuwa first year, maybe sasa ungesikia startup fulani mazina
Jefro from Silicon Valley
unanipata. So lakini mimi nika decide kwenda just the creative aspect, which also like came with all the drugs, sex drugs, like hip hop, rock and roll, etc. So that was for a season. So first year, second year, third year, fourth year, that was just like my life literally yani saka zoea tu. But also like I think like through that peer I met so many contacts and friends just from everywhere yani. So like whenever I needed something nilikuwa na plug. And actually let me not get into the nitty-gritty because maybe that wasn't the focus of the story today. So nakumbuka the last exam I think niliblanda
in campus now.
I had to redo it. So because tamia mami kaisha huko.
What did you blunder? Ni blunder ilikuwa gani?
I wasn't attending class. So ile like unapata either first class honors ama I think nilipata I barely made it second class hapo, lakini nilihang, but now there were 2 subjects I had to redo when nipate my certificate rather. So that time nakumbuka like okay I came to Kenya, and then like I was like I used that as an excuse like yo man like I gotta go back over there to finish this paper etc. So kwenda huko nakumbuka the first day nilikuwa nimerudi huko already was Fro you're back in the city I went to get some stash and then like venye nimeenda kubuy stash, so nimeenda na mwindi fulani tu amenipeleka na bike yake, nikasikia ati like kumbe the cops that day ndio walikuwa wanafanya raid.
What?
In that dealer. Imagine my cops walikama wakanibamba. Sikuenda lakini like hapo tu nikashogod manze god like tafadhali siku ya kwanza si ati siku ya pili. So like hiyo karau, but I think the karau kwa mind yake ilikuwa kubamba the dealer. Sako like venye alikama akanipiga tero akapata like there was some stash over there, akasema aha tumejua dealer actually so ile design akuneka tango la kuneka pingu, lakini akashow watu wacha wa focus on dealer usitoke hapa. So yule ameenda ndani nikashow god ndio na risk huyo mtu wa boda lazima tuwe nikapata msa boda nipeleke usiangalie nyuma, just go I'll give you the money. Msaka potea rara nikashogot, lakini unfortunately manze the next day tu nikarudi. I was telling the guys like niyo story yote mwasako yeah man, like hey guys, you wouldn't want to know what happened yesterday. So anyway, so nikaenda hapo nimestay. So anyway, so that was kind of like my season of my life. Anyway, came back over here, I get into the hip hop scene again, yeah. So like nakumbuka in the hip hop scene that time ilikuwa hii design ya kina Katai. I don't know if nini kama msikia Scout ile alifanya some track with Calligraph at least more recently, yeah. Kulikuwa na uko fulani Mau.
Actually they are very frequenters of here. They frequent this place a lot. Yeah.
So like that nakumbuka uko fulani Mau alikuwa na release album fulani inaitwa Kilio cha Haki. That is like around 2004 so. So nakumbuka like nini even like nini nikenda event akina Jack Black Duo. So like there's another guy called Jefro. Jefro alikuwa mtoto wa, there's another mayor of Nairobi called Joakech. So Jefro alikuwa na another son Madrid nini, he used to stay in Japan lakini akatoka huko akarudi hapa. So we kind of connected with some similar nini in the arts. So nikakuwa like repertoire wake wa music over there, at least kuscout talent na kadhalika kwa studio yake. So like during over there pia like ni wasanii kadhalika kwa meet up. That's the first time nilipata na STL like nini kabla Blue akafanya track Stella Mwangi wakafanya ile track inaitwa Happy na Katai nilikuwa hapo behind the scenes yani amani. So that kind of like was my kind of thing for a while. Until niki fast forward a little bit nakumbuka so tukaanza kufanya my events hapo like nini casino blah blah blah. I was taking my same mindset trying to see how to apply it over here. But pia nilikuwa nilikuwa ile design like I had some attitude towards the cops. Like hata nishow kitu ilikuwa just delusion. So anyway, fast forward 2005 is when like nika have another encounter with God. Na kumbuka hiyo encounter with God nilikuwa nayo in 2005 was almost similar to what I had in high school. Cause la kumbuka like ilikuwa I can't really remember, but God akancome in a vision. And what God showed me in a vision was you could not just deny like this is God communicating to you. But now I was telling God like, should I share this with when I was sharing it with the friends and the peers that I had that time, I felt like hawakuwa wananielewa ama like it wasn't for them, it was for me. Yeah. So around that time pia ninakumbuka nikibattle like na Katai. I was really big Mwafrika. Yule time Mwafrika akitokelezeanga sasa. Tukipatana tulikuwa Demis, he used to have another show called NYFM. So nakumbuka nipeleka ngoma zangu hapo nini etc. So anyway, so 2005 I had this vision. Nikakuwa rebellious kiasi. Nakumbuka one time I was just with some people just indulging a little bit. And then another friend of mine came. Not another friend, but someone I was studying with in primary school. Aliona nini years. And then like, I go like, yo, Jefro, tumecatch up. Nikamshow like, nini, but this kumu kwa mziki siku hizi nikamrapia kiasi. So kumrapia kaniambia, you know Jefro, you are like a sign. Which is like pointing people to Mombasa, like maybe 20 kilometers from Mombasa. Lakini hiyo sign haijafika Mombasa.